This is my new Pochade. It is homemade. You might be able to see that it's made out of two identical cigar boxes glued back to back for more depth and opportunity of storage. It's got a little slide out drawer on the side. Its back is the original hinges. And basically, it's more or less a tricked out classical Pochade. I'll show you how some of this works. So here we have the main compartment. The top just unfastens with the latch that's there. I have some cork on the inside. I'll turn this around so maybe it gets a little better light. And I have some push pins, and I use the push pins to push the watercolor paper into the cork to hold it steady. But there are other ways to do that. I have a variety of tools in here. This is a homemade viewer for framing. This is a tray made out of a third cigar box, as is the other pullout. And as you can see, I've made some compartments inside. On the side, you can see the homemade hinge, which is very simple to make out of a couple of mending pieces and a thumb screw, and a couple of other thumb screws to which the shelf will attach. So I'll show you how that works. See, this is going to be attached to here. So that's what the shelf looks like. It's just held in place by a couple of L brackets and some screws and some knurled nuts. Yeah, knurled nuts. You can see the hinge, very simply done. And I'll show you some other features. This is the bottom compartment. That is the bottom storage area made out of the lower cigar box. And as you can see, it holds a variety of supplies. I've got paper, I've got a little flask for water, since I'm using it for water media. In this case, cold wax media called Ceracolors. And this is a tri-brush washer, and right here is a Gorilla Painter, essentially a stay wet palette. All I have to do is unscrew a little bit of this knurled nut and pull out the slide. And this slide area is going to hold my tri-brush washer. The hip flask has water, by the way, so while I would enjoy a little altered states of consciousness while I'm painting, that's all it's got. So you can see the slide out piece on the right is holding the tri-brush washer very firmly. On the left, the additional drawer is holding the small stay wet palette. You can see how I would pin up a piece of paper to the cork in the back of the top compartment. And so I'm ready to rock. You can also see that there are some rubber feet on the bottom. Basically, this thing is ready to paint. Now this is a very light device. It's maybe 60% of the size of my 9x12 Gorilla Painter box, which is incredibly expensive by comparison. And it actually is considerably lighter. It was fun to make. Didn't take anything more really than a drill and some hardware I could find in the store and some very cheap boxes. All told, I have less than $30 invested in this unit, and it's highly functional, and because it's my own, it's fun. So you can see by comparison, here's a full-size 9x12 Gorilla Painter box, which is at least, I don't know what to say, almost twice the size really, and a much more elaborate design. But the difference in cost is extraordinary because the Gorilla Painter box is going to cost $150 to $200, like many of the commercial Pochades. And my little DIY is going to cost $25 to $30. And it certainly does the trick. Didn't take a lot of work. I used simple tools. The most expensive and elaborate tool I used really was a drill. And this is something that you could do with hand tools. I mean, it's pretty obvious that you can build a Pochade the classic way with just a single cigar box of any kind you like and no tools whatsoever, no hardware. So this is just a little better version. And I like my little box.
And here it is, finished.